Welcome to the Shut Up and Work podcast. I am your wonderful host, the coach. And today, just like you saw in the video, I'm going to talk about, are government jobs safe anymore? Are things getting real in the government now that the Trump administration has taken over? So, unless you've been under a rock in the island of Fiji, you know that the Trump administration has been clear and has followed through on their word of cutting government spending, waste, and the most important part, the employees. And this kind of hit home for me because I am a former federal employee, but I left way before the Trump administration took office for the second time. So real quick, I'm going to talk about what the permanent employees have to look out for and give them some tips on what they can do to prepare if they get that Ginsu knife or those walking papers to leave the federal government. So first, as you may know, a lot of you probably have read or heard on the news that they cut a lot of employees already across multiple federal agencies. And those employees are what they call the probationary employees. Now, for the private sector, your probationary period may be 30 days, 60 or 90 days, somewhere in that category. Most companies do that. But on the federal government side, your probationary period can last up to 1 year. And then once you pass that period, you're grandfathered in and considered a permanent employee. So to my permanent employees out there, here's what you need to look for. First, it's going to be job insecurity. And the reason why, because they got rid of the probationary employees, doesn't mean that you're not next. And it doesn't matter that you have 5, 10, 15, 20 years with the federal government. A lot of times, what I have seen and what I have personally experienced working for the federal government is when they have layoffs, or normally they would have a thing that they call a reduction in force. The acronym stands for a RIF. Then everything becomes unstable, meaning upper management becomes unstable. And a lot of you that may be in a union, that becomes unstable in helping to protect you and keeping your job. In other words, what I'm saying is that authoritative boss, they're going to rise up out of the ground. They might have been beat down and buried by equal employment opportunity or the unions, but now they may have the leash cut off of them. And you know how they bite. They're going to bite. And whatever upper management tells them to do or get rid of this person, they're going to do it. And they're going to have free range to come straight for your neck. So you need to be prepared for that. The second thing, and it has a lot to do with all my brothers and sisters out there personally in the federal government. Now, I'm not telling you what to do, but here's my advice. This is what I would do if I was still working for the federal government. And that is, if I have any debts besides a house payment or a rent or a lease, everything else is a debt. So car payment, pay your car off or downsize, find another car that you can pay off within the next 2 years. And the only bills that you should mainly have is your electric, water, gas, internet service, anything like that. That's necessary. But all this other stuff, streaming services, maybe one or two, depending on how your income is. But I wouldn't have a whole bunch of stuff like credit cards or car payment. Right now, I will not be looking to buy a BMW or a Hellcat. I will be looking to buy a Toyota, a Honda, a Kia. Those cars are nice. They will last you several years. So that's one thing you need to do, is kill that debt. I'm sorry I have to sound like Dave Ramsey or Susie Orman, but you need to be prepared and kill your debt and build up your savings. And if you're going to build up your savings, instead of that 3 to 6 months, that's out the window. You need to double or triple that. You need to have 1 year of savings or 18 months worth of savings in your account. So this way, if you are given your walking papers, then you can have time to sit at home and look for another job that's better, that's decent, that may be a dream job, instead of out here trying to rush and like, oh my God, I got to find a job. I got to find a job, because you're 1 to 3 paychecks within going underwater. So that's why you need to do those things. And you can't do that. You can't build that savings up if you paying for a car that's almost as much as your house payment or rent payment. You can't do that when you have thousands of dollars of credit card bills. So get that taken care of. And then on the positive side, again, if it's me, this is what else I would be doing. If I had a good craft or a hobby that I love doing, I would be trying to see how I could turn that craft or hobby into something that's making some money for me. And it doesn't matter, even if you work on it 2 hours a week, just work on it. Start doing it now. So if a year or 2 goes by and you are handed your walking papers, you can build that thing and scale it. Maybe by then you'll be making a nice bucket of money off of it every month. And then when you have the time to work on it full time, then you can immerse yourself in it. And who knows, you'll probably have a nice small business or hobby or craft that's generating a great income for you. On the other hand, if you don't have that hobby or skills or anything in that nature, then think of a job that you wanted to work. Think of it like this. If you had, let's say, you could pay your major bills already, you had another income that will take care of that. And then you find a part-time job, or you find a job that you always wanted to work in. See if you can't work in that job right now as temporary or part-time, and keep your nose clean, do a good job, get along with all the people there. And who knows, you may be able to transition over from the federal job to that job that you really love. So that is another option for you out there. So in summary, all I'm just trying to say to all my brothers and sisters out there who work in the federal government, because I was a federal government employee myself, is that you need to keep your head on the swivel. Just because they got rid of these probationary employees doesn't mean that you're next. Doesn't mean that you're not next. So you need to be aware. You need to be at work. You need to be listening to what's happening, what's going on every day. And don't put your feet up on the desk and your hands behind your head and say, they didn't get me, I'm good. Because I think there's even more changes that are coming down, and it may be affecting you next. Second thing, make sure that whatever debts you got out there, please pay them off. Pay them off so you don't have to worry about that. And build up that savings fund as much as you can before they come and give you your walking papers. And the last thing, if you have a hobby or a craft or even a job that you can go and start working in and making some money in that, then by all means, do it. So that way, when you are giving your walking papers, hey, you already have something you can fall back on. So with that, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel, and click the notification bell so that whenever I drop some new content, you can be notified. And other than that, everybody, please make it a great day out there, and I'll see you on the next episode. Peace.